Hello friends, today's current affairs S&T Health and Environment for 33rd week, module number 1 is Cassini, the final showdown. Let us take a look at the vastness of our solar system. In the solar system we have 8 planets and out of that 4 are the solid planets which are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, and the other 4 is the gaseous planets called as Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And in our solar system, these planets are divided by a large asteroid belt. Let us come to the 6th planet of our solar system, also called as Saturn. So, let us see some properties of Saturn. Saturn is the second largest planet. It is after the Roman name for the Greek god Cronus. It is the farthest planet from Earth which can be seen with our naked eyes, and all the gaseous planets have ring systems like Saturn, that is Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune also has ring systems, but out of those Saturn has got the most extraordinary rings from all those gaseous planets. Let us take a look at some other things as well. The atmospheric density is very low. It comprises of 96.3% hydrogen and 3.25% of helium. So, the atmosphere consists of hydrogen and helium, and also it has got almost 600 times, to be precise 578 times more powerful magnetic field than Earth. Let us come to Saturn's moon, Titan. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn, and Saturn's largest moon, Titan, is also the second largest moon in the entire solar system. Titan is just after the moon Ganymede, which is the moon of Jupiter, and it is slightly larger than Mercury. In its atmosphere, Titan's atmosphere is very interesting. It is one moon that has very dense atmosphere, and the surface of Titan is covered with liquid. So, it has got a liquid surface, and that is why it is one of the very important moons in our solar system. Let us take a look at the 3 types of spacecrafts as well before we jump into Cassini. Now, what are the spacecrafts that go into space for exploration? The main 3 types which are in general sent to space are orbiter, rover and lander. Orbiter spacecrafts are those which orbit a planet. That means they go out in the space and they can enter into the orbit of the planet. They can start orbiting the planet by reducing their acceleration, that is called decelerate, and they can enter into the orbit of a planet or any moon by the help of gravity of that particular planet. And they are designed to also overcome the energy cutoffs or link-offs called as occultation. And examples are Galileo, that is orbiting Jupiter, Mariner 9, that is orbiting Mars, and Cassini, that is orbiting Saturn. Let us come to the rover spacecrafts. Rover and lander are actually the spacecrafts which are designed to go into the surface of the planet. Rover and lander spacecrafts actually go into the surface. They are electrically powered. That means they are mobile systems and they can be steerable. They can be moved by Earth's communication or Earth systems. These rover spacecrafts are generally assigned for the collection of soil samples. So, basically in the picture you can see the Sojourner rover, and there is another rover sent to Mars called as Curiosity. These rovers are like cars which can be moved by Earth system, and they can move and take images and different collection of soil samples to be sent directly to the Earth. And the third type is lander spacecraft. Lander spacecrafts are those which have a long survival time, okay, on the planet's surface, and their chemical composition analysis of the surface is done by them, and they send the data back to the Earth. They also provide some colorful images for Earth to better predict the surface of the planet. Examples are Viking and Pathfinder for Mars. Now we come to Cassini's grand finale showdown. Now all these things actually help us to understand more about Cassini. What is Cassini? Cassini-Huygens is an unmanned spacecraft. That means no man or animal was sent to this spacecraft. It was designed by NASA, ESA and Italian Space Agency, that is ASI, and it is named after the discoverer of Saturn's ring, that is G.D. Cassini, and the discoverer of Titan, who is Christian Huygens. The journey of Cassini is like the following. It was launched on October 15th, 1997. From where? From Florida, USA. It was doing a flyby through Venus, Earth, Moon and the asteroid belt within 2000. So, what is the term flyby means? This is flyby. Now, if a spacecraft such as Cassini follows a specific path for a closer view of the planet, it is called a flyby. You can see in the picture the image of Cassini is there, which is having a flyby through a moon of Saturn. So, the Cassini spacecraft, Cassini-Huygens spacecraft first did a flyby through Venus and our Earth's moon on its route to Saturn. The spacecraft generally in the flybys are not captured into the orbit of the planets because they don't come inside the gravity, and they do these flybys for a closer observation for the targets. Okay, when they are moving, they just take a closer view, they just click some beautiful pictures that can be sent to the Earth for closer observation for the targets. Let us come back to the points. Now, after this flyby, December 29, 2000, the Cassini explored Jupiter along with the Galileo, already an orbiter present for the Jupiter planet, and Cassini inserted into Saturn's orbit in 2004. So, this is the year 2004 after a 7 years journey through the solar system. After 7 years journey of the solar system, Cassini entered into Saturn's orbit. Now, after that, Huygens separately landed on Saturn's moon Titan on January 14, 2005. Let us take a look at some of the descriptions of Huygens. What is Huygens? Huygens is actually a atmospheric spacecraft sent by the Cassini-Huygens team. Generally, it was designed by ESA. It was built by ESA, European Space Agency. It contained batteries, telecommunication and scientific instruments, which was useful for measuring temperature and pressure of the atmosphere of that particular planet, or here the moon, that is Titan. It has balloon packages, okay, which helped it to remain afloat, or maybe it can help for suspension in gases if the planet or the moon be a gaseous one, or if it is landing in a gaseous system or a liquid system. Huygens sent down data for 90 minutes after it touched down the surface. So, it touched the surface of the moon Titan, remember, and it sent data for 90 minutes, and it was the first spacecraft that landed so far away from Earth. Okay, so that is the first historic spacecraft that landed the farthest surface from Earth. So, let us come back. After Huygens' journey on 2005, Cassini continued it. Cassini on 2006 revealed the icy surface of the moon of Saturn called as Enceladus, and in 2006, from 2006 till 2016, it did multiple flybys. So, flybys means it is going past some planet or some moon. So, it fly by some moons. Okay. So, it did some flybys through the moons of Titan and Enceladus. From which period? 2006 till 2016 it did multiple flybys, and on April 26, 2017 Cassini made contact with Earth and it did a first dive between Saturn and its rings. So, when it contacted Earth after its first dive, first orbital dive between the Saturn and the rings of the Saturn, and it started to come inside more and more towards the planet Saturn. This entire journey of Cassini from beginning 1997 till 2017. Let us see the present assignments of Cassini. What are those? It is right now flying in loops inner ring of Saturn. It is skimming above 1600 kilometers above Saturn's atmosphere. It is just now 1600 kilometers above Saturn's atmosphere, and it is recording some chemical composition of the top part of the atmosphere, the upper atmosphere, which has mainly hydrogen gas and helium gas. And remember, hydrogen gas is lighter, so it is at the top. Helium gas is heavier, so it is at the bottom or the lower zone of the atmosphere. But Cassini has one daring act before the plunge. And what is the final assignment of Cassini? The final assignment of Cassini is to get more and more inside the Saturn's atmosphere and daringly transmit Saturn's many undiscovered physical features for finding any life or for further explorations which has never been done till today. So, basically Cassini is coming down to the final assignment because after 20 years in this long mission, which is very alone mission, Cassini is running out of fuel, and the grand finale started within April when it started to first dive into Saturn. Let us see what do you mean by the word dives or closing in of the orbits. So, the final assignment of Cassini is the orbital dive. You can see in the picture how the orbits are coming towards the Saturn, okay, and more it is coming towards Saturn, the more different physical features can be observed through it. What are the present achievements of Cassini? Now, Cassini is very important because it transmitted to Earth the wonders of the icy moons of Saturn. Saturn has many icy moons and one of them was Enceladus. Okay, Titan was one which was observed by Huygens. Even Cassini did some flybys, which is the icy moon of Saturn. They saw that some plumes of ice, okay, some ice geysers are bursting out of the surface. You can see ice is bursting out as water vapor from the surface. So, it is a very interesting and amazing discovery Cassini made. Cassini also confirmed the presence of surface liquid methane on Titan. So, the moon Titan of the planet Saturn, the second largest moon in our solar system, actually have surface liquid which is most probably methane, that is as far confirmed by NASA. Cassini took pictures of these icy jets of Enceladus. It also took pictures of Titan as well during the flybys, and remember, Enceladus is the Saturn's 6th largest moon, and in 2015 it took the pictures, beautiful pictures of Enceladus through its camera. And Cassini seeks the origin of Saturn's rings. The achievement of Cassini is it is seeking the origin of Saturn's rings, the rings which are composed of crystals of ice. Okay, those rings might have been formed by this kind of moon surface, okay, by Enceladus or Titan, might have been breaking off, and they might be originating the Saturn's rings, which are actually ice, which are made up of ice, and ultimately it is seeking the origin and the nature of Saturn's atmosphere. Thus, finally, we come to the conclusion of why did Cassini matter to us. So, Cassini is very much important as far as the space explorations go because of the following reasons. It showed the evolution of large planet systems such as Saturn, and researchers also mapped Saturn's gravitational pull and they studied magnetic field in detail because of Cassini. And ultimately Cassini's final destiny is to crash in the Saturn sky and directly take samples from Saturn's atmospheric gases, which is enthralling, and ultimately it will transmit the signals. It will try to transmit the signals till its last bit of the journey with more and more information about Saturn. So as we know, Saturn's atmosphere consists of hydrogen gas and helium gas. We might be knowing something more about its core, which scientists think that it is made up of rock and ice. So that is all for today's module. We sincerely thank you all for checking in to Learning Space. For more such informative module, tune into Learning Space.